Hey, good morning friends. Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be a little different in that we're just going to be going around and trying to see what kind of damage we had from the storm last night. Yesterday, a really bad storm system traveled across, I think, most of the U.S., and we're no exception. I think it rained for 15 hours straight, pretty heavy most of the time with only a few breaks in the rain. And some of the wind hit up to, I want to say, 60-mile-per-hour gusts. And Dirk, of course, was at work, and I was here inside and heard a couple really loud crashes. And so that was the first damage that we witnessed last night. I'm going to take you to that. All right, what is different about this situation? That's right, our doe hutch and our love shack both blew over in the wind. And y'all, that doe hutch is heavy. It's gonna require a tractor to get it lifted back up. Luckily, I was able to run out here and get all the rabbits and the bunnies out of the doe hutch. Everyone survived. We do have 2 pregnant does that were in there due to give birth in about 2 weeks, so I'm really hoping that the stress of this doesn't harm the babies that they're carrying, but at least they did make it through and I was able to get everyone out. I want to give a huge shout out to Eric, Brandon, and Amanda for coming out here without hesitation and helping get the buck hutch back up and moved over so it could be partially stabilized, and then they helped stabilize the grow out pen as well. I want to give a big shout out thank you to Tanya for being able to rustle up her crew willing to come out here and help in a moment's notice with no hesitation. Brian and Briar and Case, huge thank you to Briar for saying a prayer over us, for Dirk and I and the animals, and Case for being just as willing to come out and help. And y'all mean the world to us. And since this does require a tractor to get pulled back up, and you know, Dirk works the next few days, I think we're gonna try to wait until Tanya can bring the boys out. That's you, Briar and Case. Since y'all were so willing to come out and help, and bummed that, you know, you weren't able to since we had gotten as much accomplished as we could that night already. We want to be able to let y'all come out and help with the rest of the cleanup since y'all were so willing to. So stay tuned for that video. It should be an interesting one. But I just about panicked since Dirk was at work and I didn't know what to do. Obviously, I couldn't lift this one up myself either. So aside from, you know, everyone that came out to help, we had dozens of people reach out asking if we needed help, willing to come out and help us, and even more people reaching out, making sure that we were okay, that all the bunnies were okay. And I just want to say how incredibly grateful and thankful I am to have all y'all in our lives. It's really touching and it means a lot, so we definitely hope to be able to repay that kindness. But we're going to take a look at some of the other damage that was possibly done at one point last night. Once it got dark, I just had to give it to God and stay inside, and I said anything else that blew over or got damaged would just have to be dealt with in the morning. So we're going to see what else needs a fixing. You can see when this fell over, it fell right against the grow out hutch, and you can kind of see it better on this side. You can see how much this hutch got moved from that one falling into it. And I haven't fed any of the animals yet. That's why the lighting is still not great out here. I wanted to go ahead and get this shot, see what kind of damage we have, and then I'm gonna get all the critters fed and make sure everybody's okay. So let's see. I don't think we had any actual damage down here by the main chicken coop and run. We realized very quickly that we need to do some groundwork over here, because I came out at one point yesterday and there was probably about half a foot of standing water. Good morning, ladies. From here all the way down to the end. And it was slowly seeping into the feed barn and into the run. And it was all standing back here. You can kind of see how I was trying to divert it, but we're going to have to do some work. We rarely ever get rains that bad, but check out my new river. I don't think I've shown y'all the creek before, but it's settled down a little bit since last night, but this creek is usually low enough to where I can just walk down it, you know. Even when there's water in it, it's usually shallow enough to walk through. So it got really big yesterday, big and scary. What you know, ladies? You've still got food in there. Don't be lazy. Rudy, excuse you. Attitudes, all attitudes this morning. This was an extra coop that one of my friends had given us that we hadn't used yet. So luckily there were no chickens in it yesterday, but it blew over and we didn't try to bother getting it stood back up yesterday, because with as crazy as the winds were, it would have just gotten blown back over. So hopefully we can at least salvage some of it. It was going to be used for one of my specialty flocks in the future. So at least we didn't lose it all down the creek river. All the meat birds did okay. They're all still good. Again, I haven't done my chores yet, so they'll get moved here in a minute. I wasn't too worried about the tarp on the top of the tractor yesterday. We have it tied down pretty well. But just with the crazy winds and rain and everything, even though we have the manure belt and the rain blocks up on this, they were still getting pretty wet. So I was worried about a couple of the smaller ones, how they were kind of huddled up yesterday, but they all made it through the night. Hardy little birds this time around. Now we're down here at the greenhouse, and as you can see, the greenhouse roof did get ripped. Could have been worse. We could have lost the entire thing, but at least I didn't have to go chasing that down last night. We're on a busy road. But our friend Adam said that he'd come out sometime soon and help us get a new roof put up or patched up over that. So again, we've got great friends. We're extremely grateful. And that seems to be the bulk of the damage that I can see so far. So, I mean, all said and done, we got really lucky. I know some of our friends, they had trees blow over on their house. They had parts of their barns, if not their entire barn, blow off or blow down. So we're grateful that it wasn't more than it was. And now we know, as soon as we get these hutches stood back up and where we want them to go again, they will be anchored down. This won't happen again. And I mean, that was just kind of a fluke storm. I mean, I know we've had a couple of days here in the past couple of weeks that have been pretty windy. It's funny because I was actually going to air a video where I preview some damage from one of the previous windstorms or windy days, but that doesn't compare to what we're dealing with now. So I think I'm going to scrap that one, maybe save it for some backup content, blooper reel type, I don't know. But I'm going to go down here and check on the pigs. Yesterday, we were having issues with them going into their house. I got home from town in the morning and it seemed like they'd been out in the rain all night long and they wouldn't go in. Well, we finally got them to go in, and now they won't come out. So it needs to be a good balance. I don't want to get into the habit of them thinking that I'm gonna bring their feed and water into the house. They need to come out to do that and root around and be pigs. So I'm gonna try to get them up and moving this morning. Now that the weather's broke, it's not supposed to rain anymore, and I think the wind's finally supposed to be back to normal. Although we are supposed to get snow next week, I believe, which is wild. I knew winter wasn't done with us here in Indiana. Full spring. We were in full spring. All right, I'm gonna see if I can hustle them pigs out of their house. Good morning. Hello. Hey, yeah. Good morning. Since it was so nasty yesterday, I did go ahead and put a bucket of feed in there for them. But I'll get that out. And they seem to be afraid of the stainless feeder here. I watched one of them yesterday try to creep up to it and then backed away like he was afraid. So I've scattered a lot of feed around the base of the concrete block and around the ground, kind of trying to lure them to it. So hopefully it'll work. I didn't drink any of this water. Come on out, pigs. Come on. You gonna make me get in there with you? I will. Come on. Don't you bark at me. Come on. Come on, Jess. Come on. Hey. Don't you bark. Out you go. Come on. Go. Yep. Go. More than you two. Bed. What you know about it? You can come back in. You just gotta be a pig for a while. Yeah, what do you think about that better weather, boys? Yeah. All right. That went a little easier than I thought, aside from them trying to bark at me. But I like that they've been spending time in there and sleeping in there and everything. But like I said, they need to know that they're gonna have to come out here to get their feed and get their water and everything. I don't want them to be thinking that they're gonna be reliant on me bringing everything to them. That's the whole purpose of having the bulk feeder out here, so that I don't have to be out here all the time making sure they're eating. So I'm gonna monitor them today, see if they're messing around with their feed bin, and if not, we'll figure something out to get them lured to it. They'll get it. But thanks for coming along with me today to view the storm damage and check on the pigs. We'll have footage of picking up that hutch and everything. Like I said, I want to get Briar and Case out here to help with that, as long as they're still willing. But I hope anybody else that was in the path of that storm, I hope your damage wasn't extensive, or if it was, I at least hope that everybody made it out safe. Everything, nothing's too bad. So until next time, friends, keep on keeping on.